This video attempts to answer the question of which method of reception of the Eucharist drops the most particles. Now, I want to make this clear, we did not do this in Mass. We certainly did not do this with any consecrated bread. This was done with non-consecrated bread. Both receptions were done 100 times, each by me and each given by Father Eric, where he has experience both giving on the tongue and in the hand, as well as I have experience receiving on the tongue and in the hand. I am over a poster board about 4 inches for both receptions, and I make sure that as I'm taking and receiving, I make sure that I receive over the poster board for both. I wipe my hands when I receive in the hand every single time. So if there's any particles or any flakes that fall off, they're just going to go straight onto the poster board. The black poster board is there so that at the end you'll be able to see what the results are in terms of just the space. Can you see a particle? Can you not see a particle? That's the question. And so the camera's a few feet up. You'll be able to see this. This was the 3rd time we recorded this. The reason for that was we had some technical problems. For example, if I received on the tongue and I ate it every single time, there would be some residue bread the next time I went to receive, and so that would end up leading to biasing the results, as potentially some bread from my tongue could fall before I even had bread put on my tongue. This time what we ended up doing was I received over the poster, I stepped back, I took it out of my mouth, put it on the table, and then repeated. This was to make sure that we replicated what happened at Mass as best as possible. When looking at the on the tongue still piece, we have this highlighted spot. That highlighted spot is the only place where particles fell. In fact, you can really only see 2 particles from the height of the camera, which is sitting a few feet above. The rule of thumb is if you can see particles, then the assumption is that they're the Eucharist. And so you can only really see 2 here, so the assumption is those 2 would be the Eucharist if this was consecrated bread. Now looking at receiving on the hand, we see that I don't have to highlight anything. It's fairly obvious that by a magnitude, more particles are there. That's the point that answers this question. Which one drops more particles? This one. We see that in the hand drops more particles. And it's not just simply a little bit, but significantly more. Due to lighting limitations, there was no angle that would properly show the results of both distributions, so they're slightly off from one another, but I will be having the full videos for both of them on a different video if you want to view in the entirety the unedited version of what we just did. In addition, I noticed that when it came to comparing the bread pieces and the floor, that these could very easily camouflage into the floor. So if part of the Eucharist fell, they really wouldn't be able to see it, not because it wasn't big enough, but because it looked too much like the floor, and so it doesn't stop being the Eucharist when it hits the floor. So that's another concern that we noticed here. This video isn't to say no communion in the hand. That's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to show the difference in which one drops more particles. That is the question that it's answering. Which one drops more particles? In the hand drops more particles. It's something to reflect on.